guys, it's Tamara from ShelfAddiction.com, and I'm going to be reviewing Destined for Early Grave by Jeaniene Frost. It's the fourth book in the Night Huntress series, and man, I think this was probably the best one yet. Let me just say, I have a bunch of notes here, like a ton of notes. So I'm just gonna like try to go by my notes so I don't veer too far off the path. So I make sure I cover everything that, you know, is really good. Basically, I've gotten to the point where I don't even look at the synopsis anymore with this series. I just automatically pick up the next one and expect to like it. So that's what I did here. So before I picked it up, I had no clue what I was going to be reading about, and you know, I'll link the Goodreads description below. But in a nutshell, this book is about Kat. In the beginning, she starts to have dreams of someone who she thinks she knows, and it turns out to be this bad vampire, Gregor, and he is the worst person, the worst vampire on the planet. I mean, to me, he's really sleazeball. I mean, he had these ulterior motives this whole time, but come to find out, he actually married Kat when she was 16. That was so illegal and so gross, you know. But basically now she doesn't really remember him, but then she finds out through her dreams that he keeps saying that she's her husband. She is his wife. And from there, of course, Bones like goes into a fit, like pretty much has a conniption about it. And of course, so then they spend this whole book trying to disprove Gregor's claims and trying to get to the bottom of, you know, why that happened, why her memory was erased, all these other things. So, you know, it's a roller coaster ride per usual, a lot of good fights per usual. Now, what I liked really was one cool part. They actually referenced the Matrix. That was kind of dorky, I know, but I still thought it was very cool. There's this like oracle, I guess, in New Orleans that they go to see. Bones has some kind of, not alliance, but he knows that, you know, she'll stand by them if they can get her backing, and then, you know, Kat has to go visit her and, you know, I guess get safe passage from her, and that's when they have this little Matrix interlude. And it's kind of funny because after that, I don't think the woman liked Kat, but after that, you know, back and forth with the Matrix stuff, you know, I guess she said, oh, we're like two of the same minds, I guess. So, you know, that worked out. I also liked that we got to meet some new characters. There was another ghoul added to the mix. She watches Bones' house in New Orleans. There's a new ghost on there, you know, hanging out with them now, which is cool. Also, Vlad makes another appearance, and it's funny because, like, this is just a side note, like, Jeaniene Frost has another series called, I can't remember the series name right now, but the second book, Twice Tempted, is coming out, I think this month, or it already came out. I don't know. It's on my list to read. I read the first book and I loved it. And that book, those books circle around Vlad, and I had no idea that it was the same Vlad from these books. And I read like someone's review somewhere of Twice Tempted, and then they mentioned that it was from these, you know, this series, this spin-off, I guess. And I'm like, what? I had no idea. I felt like, duh, I couldn't believe that I missed the connection that the Vlad in this book is the same Vlad in that series, Night Prince series, that's what it's called. But yeah, anyway, sign into that. Back to what I'm doing right now. Vlad was in this book, and he, I mean, comes to the rescue again. I mean, like, this is the second time in the second book in a row that he's helped Kat out. I mean, him and Kat have really become good friends, and I like him. Like, he's a little creepy, he's a little unusual, but I like him. So, you know, I like to see him appear. I hope he keeps resurfacing book after book after book. Now, sadly, we did lose, you know, a character. Of course, you're not going to get through one of these books without someone dying. But I'm not going to tell who it is, but it's kind of like, oh, really? I don't want that guy to die. But, you know how it goes. Poor Bones in this book. Let me tell you, Bones, I really felt bad for him. I mean, he's usually really, what's the word I'm looking for? He's usually really, you know, caveman-ish kind of sometimes, or he just is like, he just wants to take charge and protect Kat and, you know, put her in a corner while he goes and fights the bad guys. But let me tell you, this poor guy, I mean, dang, I mean, he got ran through the washing machine, the dryer, the spin cycle, I mean, all that. He went through it in this book. I mean, and Kat was not helping, let me tell you. His jealousy, I guess, of Kat possibly picking Gregor over him just like takes over everything, and it's like he loses his, you know, I don't know, he loses his mojo, I guess, for a minute and just goes completely batshit crazy for a second, but he pulls it together in the end, and that's, you know, always a good thing. Also, you know, it's funny in regards to like the plot or whatever, I kind of felt like I kind of knew what was going to happen. You know how you know what, you assume what the ending will be because of the trend of the last books, and I was right. But you know, regardless, it was a fun ride getting there. It was a little predictable, but you know, who cares? It was still good to read. It was fun to read. The best part of the book was, I think, the very end. Like, there was this huge showdown at the end of the book, like fight to the death at the end of the book, and it was kind of crazy how everything kind of like fell in place, like with a bunch of coincidences. So they really got out of that by the skin of their teeth, but it was just all like things just falling into you know, plan. I guess they, not by plan, but you know, they kind of just fell in line as they, you know, as they needed things to go, and that worked out. Now, you know, one major thing, and you know, I am sorry because I do feel like I'm jumping around a little bit, but let me just go back to talking about Kat for a minute, because there was a major turn for her character in this book, and I was wondering how long it would take, but she made this turn, and she is like, I don't know, it's kind of crazy. Like, she is so powerful, she doesn't even know her strength. And of course now, you know, just by that sentence you should know what I'm talking about. But I like it, I really like it, and now I feel like the next book will have a little bit more shift maybe in how Bones acts regarding Kat, now that, you know, she can take care of herself, you know, even more than she could before. But, you know, that's just, I like that. I like that there was some major character development regarding Kat. That was really good. Also, oh yes, as you guys know, I listened to this on audio as I did the previous books, and the narrator is spot on per usual. I mean, every time I feel like I'm saying the same thing about the narrator. I think her name is Tavia Butler. I apologize if that's wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Tavia Butler. She's really good. I mean, she's so easy to listen to. She's got those characters' voices and personalities down. There's like no way you can get bored listening to her, you know. Now, what didn't I like about this book? Absolutely nothing. There was nothing that I didn't like about this book. And you know that is rare for me to say there was nothing that I didn't like. But from start to finish, this book was fast-paced, action-filled, drama-filled. I actually caught myself saying out loud a few times, like, what? Oh my God, that's crazy. Why? Why are you doing that? Stop doing that. You know, things. I catch myself like speaking out loud in reaction to scenes that I was listening to. And I mean, that tells you it's good right there. So what would I rate this? Obviously, I would rate it 5 bookmarks. And it's totally deserving of 5 bookmarks. Trust and believe. If you haven't read this yet, you've got to read it. If you haven't even started this series yet, you've got to. It's highly addictive. It really is. I'm already in the queue to read the next book. What's it called? This Side of the Grave. Hopefully I'll be able to fit it in this month. I mean, I listened to this book in 2 days, so I'm sure when I get the next one, it'll be another 2-day situation. It's really good. So, again, with that said, you guys, I really recommend this series if you haven't started it, or if you are, just continue on. If you've read this book, tell me what you thought. Do you have a review? If so, go ahead and link it below. I'd love to check out what you have to say about it, or even if you have a video, feel free to do a video response below, and I'd love to view your video and see what you think about it. So that's it this time, guys. Until next time, happy reading.